Okay, rant incoming. This time on Medicaid, I've talked about this issue, I think, before. Maybe not at the level of detail I will today. And I'm just kind of scratching the surface, and we'll call it less than 3 minutes. But I have joked for some time now that we are living through the greatest bull market Medicaid-driven expansion of all time. And I'm halfway joking, but also not, because the reality is, spending equals jobs, GDP, it's all connected. And a bulk of that growth is coming from areas of especially healthcare, where Medicaid is a very large payer. And states administer Medicaid. And I would argue, if people were being honest, it's just a state slush fund to support a variety of different programs. Housing, obviously clinical things. It's geared towards, by definition, folks who are not affluent. But at this point, it's being exploited. I think that's fair. The DOGE data we got recently, that big data dump from MMIS, which is just a national repository that states submit all this claims information to. It's limited just inherently because there's a lot of unique identifiers that are not included in MMIS, and especially the data dump that we got. So just be aware of that. But make no mistake, right? Eyes on the prize. Something like autism, disabilities, more broadly speaking, we've seen a lot of growth in related certifications and treating that particular cohort or that population. Behavioral health is a major problem, more broadly than just autism. And that population definitely exists. But it is putting an enormous amount of stress on state finances, regardless of the source. Again, bulk of the funding comes from the federal level. So essentially what I am describing is a complete shit show where Medicaid is sort of this all-encompassing welfare program that I just continue to see grow. Shows up in the CBO's projections is not really coming down moving forward. I expect it'll only get worse. And one more thing. People out there who talk about Medicaid and say, my God, no, well, immigrants, aliens, they can't ever show up in that as a funding source. You're just wrong.